If you haven't seen episode 1 or any of the other episodes, please make sure to do so now. Continuing with the series in 3, 2, 1. You guys have waited quite a moment for another episode. I apologize, but here I am back with the final 6 of Big Brother Cartoon Network. Dee Dee has played a very open and brass game, where Mandy has kinda played a bold but quiet one. I don't know if that's an oxymoron. Yet here they are, opposites, getting along, completely talking to each other, and Mandy has every intention to take Dee Dee to the final 2. Number 5, she's kind of training with Eddie right now, and Finn's words of last episode are very heavy on her mind, because she is afraid that her time in this game is slowly coming up, and she wants to make it to the end. And she wants to make Finn proud, since that was one of her main allies. So you got these 4 worrying about game. However, you got Chowder and Rigby just chilling it, kicking it in the kitchen. That's where Chowder's been half of this season. I feel like Rigby would take this opportunity to talk to Chowder and really get into the game, where he's like, look man, you know, this is kind of in the final 6. Me and you, we both got people in jury. Now, I know it would probably be best for one of us to take Dee Dee or Mandy, because we would for sure win. But how about we actually make this season good? We show them that we are here to play for a reason, and we actually take this game by storm and make the final 2. In which immediately, I feel like Chowder is very happy to do that, because out of everyone left, Rigby is the one Chowder is closest to. He liked Panini, she got voted out. He liked Flapjack, he was voted out. He liked Billy, he liked number 2. Looked what happened to all his friends. And I feel like number 5 is very skeptical to do this, but I think she will go ahead and approach Eddie, you know, after working out some. With like, look Eddie, I know this may come out of nowhere, but I want to be honest with you. We're playing this game, and I'm afraid that some may think the game is playing us. I want us to take it in control of our hands, and I think we both need to find a way to get out Mandy. We can't backdoor her. We're in the final 6. Everyone plays in veto. And I think, you know, Eddie, he's interested by a lot. Like, his intriguement is definitely peaked. Because now he has Mandy in his ear trying to backstab people. And now he has number 5 in his ear. Speaking of Mandy, I feel like they're just giving the rundown. She's like, we need to get out Chowder, then Rigby. And I think, you know, Dee Dee, she's alright with getting out whatever, but she's starting to feel bad for Chowder. She kind of likes Chowder a little bit. So for once, I feel like Dee Dee may integrate some of her own game and actually stick up for a person. She's like, you know what, Mandy? How about Chowder 5th, Rigby 6th? And she even kind of likes Rigby. If it was her way, she'd prefer Eddie, but she's already asking for too much in her opinion. Feel like Mandy just basically says, alright, well this is a democracy I suppose. We will just have to see how the week plays out. Alright, day 57, the day of the HOH challenge. I feel like all the girls once again have a little meeting to make sure they're all on the same page. And I feel like immediately Eddie recognizes that they're all like in the same room. He's like, you know what? Chowder, Rigby, they're all in there right now, right before the HOH challenge, talking to each other. Isn't that weird? Like, shouldn't something be happening right here? And Rigby and Chowder, they're working together. They're kind of surprised by Eddie, and Rigby's like, oh, do you think they're scheming or plotting against you or something? I didn't even know you were with us. I thought you were with Mandy. And he's like, yeah, well, here's the thing. I think I'm getting played. Because number 5 just came up to me talking about let's get out Mandy. Yes, she's in there right now, Japanese in Mandy's ear. And Rigby and now Chowder's like, whoa, she really say that? She really wants to backstab Mandy? He's like, yeah. And then Rigby's like, well, hold on now. Maybe she really does. We could use this leverage potentially to get her out. I feel like Eddie would also be like, you know what, Chowder? I also want to say I did not vote to evict you. He's like, oh, so you and Rigby didn't vote to evict me. Great. And Rigby, he's like, oh shit, I did vote to evict him, but I'm not gonna say anything. In which up up here, I just feel like Mandy, Dee Dee, and number 5. Mandy just really wants to keep an eye on number 5 because her, like, red flag radar is going crazy. Mandy is not having good vibes about number 5. So, number 5, who are you voting? You know, type beat. And she's like, if I want to make my game public out there, then I suppose I will. I kind of believe Eddie or Chowder should be the next one to go. And immediately Dee Dee's like, bruh, not again. She likes the Eddie idea, but she knows that Mandy might not go for that. So Dee Dee is actually starting to think, she's like, you know what, I was thinking I wanted Mandy to win, but if number 5's telling the truth, I kind of want her to win low-key. Keep in mind, this is all like 3 minutes before the HOH challenge. I feel like Eddie might also pop the question. He's like, look, I know I'm not really aligned with anyone here, but I just need to know, like, who should I really target with y'all? Because I want to let y'all know I'm with y'all to the end. This is the final 3 right here. Me and the boys. And Rigby and Chowder, I feel like they both say they would prefer number 5 to stay and like Mandy to go. But I don't think they would mind Dee Dee going. And he's like, alright, well, let me see if number 5 is truthful. I will align with her. Let's see what happens. Alright, then we have the house guest joining us for the final 6 HOH challenge, except Dee Dee, since you were the last previous HOH, you will not be able to play. This HOH challenge is microchip mayhem. Put balls into other house guests, pause, tube to eliminate them. It's pretty straightforward, but you also have to go along a balance beam, so it's not just like race here and back or anything. And so as all the contestants start at once, I won't even lie. Mandy number 5, I feel like instantly targeting Chowder, but Chowder, Rigby, and Eddie all kinda go for Mandy. I feel like Eddie puts one in Mandy. Pause! Number 5 probably receives one. He probably gives one to Rigby and Chowder, but he mainly gives it to Mandy so it doesn't look suspicious. And I feel like it only takes like maybe 3 minutes before Mandy, you are the first contestant to be eliminated from this challenge. And I won't even lie, I feel like with number 5 and Eddie both kind of putting spheres into Chowder's tube, I do ultimately feel like he would be the next one eliminated, meaning this competition is coming down to number 5, Eddie and Rigby. Now, I won't even lie, I feel like Rigby actually likes number 5 quite a bit, especially with past conversations. So I think he just kind of takes turn, like, one in his, one in hers, etc. over and over. She kind of does the same thing, but I feel like with Eddie seeing Rigby target both of them instead of just her, he does the same thing except he puts a couple extra in Rigby's. Rigby, the 4th contestant, eliminated from this, which means number 5, Eddie, one of you are about to become the final 6 HOH guaranteed in the final 5, which is kind of fitting for that since the winner is number 5. Congratulations, you are guaranteed in the final 5. You put in that work. I feel like between her and Eddie, she just has really good balance skills. She's probably doing like hand tricks off that fucking balance beam, somersaults and backflips and shit. Congratulations. And immediately I feel like Dee Dee is pumping her fists in the air while Mandy is kind of scowling like she's unsure of all this real quick. So immediately I think Mandy just kind of pushes Eddie away, pushes Rigby away. She gets the girls in the HOH room, congratulates number 5, and then says, alright, so what about it? What's happening right now? I feel like number 5 doesn't really want to nominate Dee Dee nor Mandy, as she thinks the easiest route would probably just be 2 of the boys and then maybe backdoor. But she really wants to see Mandy up there. I feel like when Mandy leaves, you know, to let number 5 do her HOH talking and all that, Dee Dee goes up to her and she's like, hey, number 5, I want you to please do me a favor and not tell Mandy something. She's like, alright, can you kind of nominate Rigby and Eddie instead of Chowder? And number 5, she kind of likes Rigby. She thinks Rigby is a cool dude. He's very chill, easy to talk to, get along with. Not to mention, she doesn't really know if he's a threat to win the game. She's like, that is kind of a big ask. I won't tell Mandy, I promise. But I'm unsure, I gotta talk to them, so can you let me do that? She says, alright, number 5, thank you. So I do feel like she pulls in Eddie first. And Eddie is like, look, if you want to actually work with me and you're serious, you're not gonna put me up. And number 5, this is when she's like, oh, bruh. So I might gotta nominate a girl, because right now she's teeter-tottering whether or not to put up Chowder and Rigby, let alone Eddie. I feel like Eddie lets her know that with Mandy's influence in the game, just because she's a jerk doesn't mean she can't win. Eddie tells number 5 that if she keeps him around, she probably has a better chance at beating him, because he immediately got immunity for the first 2 weeks, which some players could view as like a cheating thing or not as honorable. Not to mention, him and Double D didn't really get along with too many people, especially in Eddie's case. The only person he really got along with was Knuckles for the most part. So I feel like when they're done talking and she's gonna talk to Rigby, while they do their talking and strategizing, you know, talking about their favorite chips, favorite soda, what they're gonna do outside of the game, so close yet so far. While they do that, Mandy and Eddie, I feel like, are gonna sit down once again, and Eddie's like, look, Mandy, I gotta be real with you. I think it's me or you. One of us is probably not gonna be here for much longer. However, I would like to change that and for that to not be the case, but you need to tell number 5 not to nominate me. Me and you cannot be on that block. I know this is a little upfront and surprising, but I do think the best route for me and you would to be sitting there together at the final 2. And Mandy, she already knows for a fact that she wants Dee Dee at the final 2. That is her best chance at winning, which is kind of mean to say. But she also knows she needs a backup plan. Because what if her original plan fails and the 3rd player wins the final HOH? Same thing with number 5, as she's really starting to think about it. She's like, damn, I kind of do need Eddie a little bit. She's like, you know what? You make a very good point. I will keep this in mind. And so by the time that's up, I feel like it is Chowder's turn to talk to number 5. And he's like, hey, number 5, congratulations on the win. I'm glad you won. You deserve it. I am a little bit nervous though, because I don't know who you're gonna nominate. I really like Rigby, so I don't know if it'd be too much for me to ask if you could nominate Eddie and Mandy. And at this point, number 5 rolling her eyes, because, you know, like, everyone wants to do something different. She has to make someone, probably some people, unhappy. She has a lot to think about overnight on her sleep as it becomes day 58, the day of the nomination ceremony. And obviously, in light of this, Chowder wants to make a special breakfast and occasion. I feel like Dee Dee and Mandy always brush their teeth together, and Dee Dee's always like talking, yapping, getting foamy, nasty toothpaste everywhere. Disgusting. I won't lie, I feel like Rigby's like, you know, what's the point of getting out of bed really until like breakfast is done? Cause all today is nomination ceremony, and I won't even lie. Me and number 5, you know, we talk and stuff, but I kind of feel like she's gonna nominate me. And Eddie's like, yeah, I know exactly what you mean, because she's for sure gonna nominate my ass as well. Eventually, everyone sits down to have a breakfast together, and I feel like, you know, Chowder's like, you know, everyone, I know that we're kind of targeting each other, and we want, obviously, ourselves to win for the most part, but look at how far we made it, bro. This is the final 6, and Rigby is like, hell yeah, bro. There are 10 people who were in this house 58 days ago that are no longer here. And Eddie's like, yeah, a lot of people had to lay down their game to make sure ours could prosper. Dee Dee's like, R.I.P. Dexter, I got Panini out for you, that bitch. And Chowder, you know, he wants to say something, but he's like, you know what, this is a good toast, good breakfast, let's just let her talk shit. And Mandy's like, cheers everyone, for a good game, and hopefully a better winner. And they all say, yeah, and then sip on that wok. Unfortunately, however, not too long after is the nomination ceremony. All 5 of them scared. They worked so hard to get here, and I really doubt they want to fumble now. Number 5, I feel like she's like, I'm very sad that I have to be in this position to maybe potentially eliminate one of y'all. I'm glad that I earned myself safety, but this is just a burden of the position. To the 2 players I nominate, I truly do wish you the best in veto competition. Alright, and with that being said, my first nomination, mostly due to the fact that they are a jury threat and I believe they might not be able to win veto, no offense, is Chowder. This was a hard decision, mainly because I like you and members of the house like you. And I feel like number 5, kind of within the same thing, she says, the next person I'm nominating is mainly as a pawn, and I'm sorry, I have to nominate someone that I just feel like would be a better fit for the nomination position, not to really give too much of my game away. I nominate Eddie. Chowder and Eddie, both of you have been nominated for eviction. Good luck in veto. I feel like after the ceremony, Rigby, Eddie, and Chowder are all like, yup, number 4 is lying, she's plotting, she's scheming. And Rigby's like, I'm very sorry you guys, but I promise I'm not aligned with Mandy or Dee Dee. And Chowder's like, don't worry, I believe you, but I feel like Eddie is a little skeptical. Immediately, Mandy's like, good job, number 5. I know that was hard to do, but you did the right thing. Dee Dee, I know this isn't what you wanted, but I promise you and Chowder can talk all you want after the game. And I feel like Dee Dee doesn't really like Mandy's tone talking about Chowder like this, like he's already gone and she can't do anything about it, which might cause some conflict. Day 59, number 5 kinda unwillingly shares her bedroom with the others. After a hearty meal cooked by Chowder and Mandy, she was tired of Chowder's goofy food and she wanted like actual food. So she made like bacon, scrambled eggs, grilled cheese, stuff like that. All the players, congratulations for making Final 6. Since you did so, everyone is allowed to play in the veto competition. This challenge is called item catching. Catch items in a certain amount of time while being covered in slime. So I'm gonna say each of them are like covered by walls so they can't see each other's points, but I'm gonna say every 4 minutes, whoever has the least amount of items is eliminated from this challenge. And there's gonna be a lot of random stuff falling. Every time you catch a bad item, you lose a point. And the item they're supposed to be catching is something green. Keep in mind they're covered in green slime and the items are also probably coming out in green slime. Number 5 has pretty good hand-eye coordination. Eddie can run really fast. Dee Dee has long-ass limbs. Mandy's very focused. He can run on all 4s. Chowder, I won't even lie. I gotta be real with you, bro. You need the veto, but I think you're the first one out. You could say he can catch stuff with his hat, but if it's edible, I think he might be eating it, and some of it might be like watermelon, a lime, some grapes. He's eating all that. I won't even lie, I feel like there's gonna be a lot more items, especially incorrect ones. Like the new one they gotta get is probably like grab something 6 inches, pause. And it's kinda hard to like eyeball that as it's coming down, like about to hit you or something. I'm sorry, Rigby, I do feel like you're the next one out. And even though you can do really well, I do think it is a close tie. Dee Dee, you also fumble. Which means it is between number 5, Eddie, and Mandy, all trying to catch as much stuff as they can, hoping they get the right amount. In third place of this challenge is Eddie, number 5. Mandy trying to get as much as they can, but I won't lie to you. Maybe the slime, like, gets in number 5's eye. Her hat, like, keeps getting weighed down until she eventually has to take it off. Maybe she slips. I just see, like, Mandy in this kind of fashion, not really missing too much where I could see number 5, like, slipping or getting distracted. Mandy is very composed, and not only is she composed, she is the winner of this veto challenge. Guaranteed safety, just like number 5, guaranteed in the final 5. Immediately, I feel like Dee Dee and number 5, talk to her, congratulate her. You did your thing, that means you don't have to use it. So I feel like, number 5 is pretty solidified that she won't use it. However, I feel like Dee Dee will ask Mandy once again, don't tell number 5 I asked you this, but could you potentially use it on Chowder? And we can just send Eddie home this time, please? And Mandy's like, bro, what the hell? And so, you know what? I feel like Mandy says, you know what? I might use the power of veto, Dee Dee. And she says, yeah, like frolicking off. But Mandy, she's like, Dee Dee, don't you know Chowder's gonna have to betray you at some point? Don't you think he will? I feel like obviously Chowder just has a little talk, like if you want to use the veto on me, I understand. That would be very nice. But if you don't, I also understand. Because this is a game and everything. And I kind of like Rigby anyway. Someone is about to join this memory wall. Day 60, we now have the veto ceremony. Mandy, as power of veto winner, please head up to the HOH. You can use the power of veto, or you don't have to. If you do, the HOH must make a replacement nominee. Chowder, I feel like he says, if you use it on me, I promise not to nominate you next round if I'm HOH, which, I don't really know if that means anything since I haven't really done too well. But either way, I'm glad to be here, and to be here this long, thank you. Eddie's like, yo, please, I would love this. I need this. I don't got much back home. My parents, they leave me over and over again. It's like a daily tradition of getting milk for 2 months. My big brother is the same way, except when he comes around, he beats me. Please, I need them gumball. Well, not gumball, the jawbreakers. And Mandy, I feel like she just kind of looks at the two of them, looks at number 4, and she says, I have decided. Best for my game. I am sorry for those who this may affect, but I have decided to use the power of veto on Eddie. Eddie, he's immediately super excited. He didn't expect this at all. He thought the girls were for sure teaming up to get him out or something. He's hyped as hell. He thought he was going home against Chowder. And so with Mandy and Eddie safe, it is between Rigby and Dee Dee. And number 5 looking at the two, knowing she has to betray someone, she's just like, I don't know, man. This doesn't even feel morally right. Because she wanted Chowder to be off the block, let alone against him, and that is so mean. But me and Rigby have been talking this entire time, and I kind of want to see it to the end with him, but at the same time, he'll probably win. After a moment of thought, I feel like at the end, number 5 has decided the replacement nominee is Rigby. And I feel like instantly Rigby's mad, or at least her. I don't know if he'd be mad, but he'd be very hurt. Chowder's like, bro, what's happening? So I won't even lie, and the rest of the day to come, I feel like Chowder might talk to Dee Dee, and he's like, look, I'm kind of alright with leaving the game low-key. I do think Rigby deserves it more than me. He works minimum wage for a boss that always yells at him, mostly for good reason, but Rigby doesn't say that part of the story. Dee Dee, I feel like would be very sad. She's like, I don't know. I kind of think Rigby would beat me if I was at the end. Don't you want me to win as well? And Chowder's like, well, of course, I kind of want any of you guys to win. And after that, I kind of feel like he gives Eddie the same speech. She's like, look, bro, I know some people might say that Rigby is better at challenges than me and might be able to win better than me, especially since him and Mordecai are both very likable and they could probably sway people. I'm just saying, I don't mind going home. You do your thing. I wish you the best of luck. So I feel like it is eviction day, day 61. It is the end for one of these 6. Or should I say one of these 2, after 60 days in the house. Chowder, I feel like his ending speech would basically be a thank you everyone for making my stay enjoyable. Y'all were great friends. I had an amazing time. I never thought I'd be able to do something like this. Made lifelong friends. Thank you. And Rigby is a little surprised about Chowder being so open about kind of sounding like he's leaving. And Rigby's like, I really would appreciate if I could stay. I need the money. I want the money. I want to keep playing this game to prove my own worth. Yes, I've done stuff in this game that I'm proud of, but I kind of want to do more. And with that, the vote has began. Mandy, Eddie, and Dee Dee are all now going to vote. Eddie is like kind of afraid of Rigby and number 5's like strong alliance. Not to mention he feels like he could beat Chowder in any challenge way easier. Eddie votes to evict Rigby. Mandy can't wait to see Chowder walk out those doors. She votes to evict Chowder, and obviously we all know Chowder had that sad speech with Dee Dee. Dee Dee understands he wants to be gone, and she respects his wishes, and so she's willing to allow that to happen. And since she knows that the other two are voting to evict Chowder, she's just gonna go ahead and give him a pity vote. She votes to evict Rigby. Both of you have been amazing, enjoyable players. It is very sad to see one of you go, but Chris obviously has to say who it is, and by a vote of 2-1. And this is when yup, both of them voted Chowder. Rigby, you have been evicted from the Big Brother house. I am so sorry. And immediately Dee Dee, her eyes widen like she's super happy Chowder gets to stay. But now she looking over at Mandy because she knows Mandy voted to evict Chowder. Dee Dee was just gonna lie and say Eddie voted to evict Rigby, but since two of them did it, she can't lie, so now she's a little bit nervous. Rigby, I know this is a little shocking, but I promise you it's a wave of relief. Finally stop being able to play the game. Everyone gives him a goodbye. Everyone, I do think, likes Rigby in some kind of way. He didn't play a competitive game, where in that aspect he was kind of playing a very good social game. But now, unfortunately, Rigby, you're playing no game. RIP, updated memory wall. And here we have it, the final 5, all making it to the final episode, finale night, where we will see a double eviction, the final 3 duke it out, and then the jury votes to see who the winner will be. Go ahead and comment down who you think will win and who you want to win. You guys are so amazing for watching this. I thank every single one of you. You guys are amazing, and I dare you to have a good day.